Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the session. Can you hear me? If yes, the chat is open now. Please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Thank you, Asha. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you. Thank you, Adakal. Thank you. Thank you all for your confirmations. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. What is the plan for today? You know what is DevOps? DevOps is a methodology which will speed up the software development lifecycle. It's all about automation in building the artifact, delivering the artifact, which speeds up the software development lifecycle. The prerequisite for DevOps. The prerequisite for DevOps, you all should be good in basics of Linux. The most important prerequisite of DevOps that you should be good in basics of Linux. Okay, so to start Linux, we need a Linux environment. To start learning Linux commands, so we have to have a Linux environment. My laptop is a Windows environment. We cannot practice or we cannot learn Linux commands in the Windows environment. We need to have a Linux operating system. So what's our plan is to create a Linux machine on AWS. Our plan is to create a Linux machine on AWS, and then we'll be connecting to that particular Linux machine on AWS, and we'll start learning Linux. If you want to create a Linux machine on AWS, you have to have an AWS account. I'm sure most of you are having AWS account. But there are some participants who are directly jumping into DevOps. Who are completely new to AWS, directly jumping into DevOps, considering that they want to learn AWS later after DevOps. Considering those participants, we'll spend some time how to create a new AWS account. So a plan for today is to learn the process of creating a new AWS account. If you're not having AWS account, after this session, please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Once AWS account is ready, we will learn the process of creating Linux machine on AWS. We'll learn the process of creating Linux machine on AWS. Okay, and then we'll also learn how can we connect to that particular Linux machine using the terminal called putty so that we can get started working with Linux. This is our plan for today. As usual, before moving on to today's session, any questions, please raise your hand. Participants, if you're having any questions, if you want to have an interaction, please raise your hand. So we'll spend some time discussion and then we'll get into the agenda of today's session. Any questions? Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's learn the process of creating a new AWS account. If you want to have I already have an AWS account. Participants, I already have an AWS account. Let me show you how to log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com is the URL. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. As I already have an AWS account, let me log in with my AWS account, email address, and the login password. I'm done. I have logged into AWS account. This is called console home. In other words, a home page. AWS, very participant, so it's very simple. AWS is a collection of services. As simple as that. AWS is collection of services. And here you can see the services option where you can see the list of all the services. So AWS is a platform which provides us set of services. There are close to 200 services of it in AWS. Every service is having its own functionality or utility. So it's a platform which is collection of services. Don't think more than that. It is pretty simple. For example, we all use Google Drive. We all upload our photos or documents in Google Drive. Google Drive is what? It's a service provided by Google. over the cloud. So if you upload the photos in the Google Drive, it will not be stored in our personal laptop. It will be stored in the cloud. Anything which is not stored in your personal laptop is nothing but cloud, where it is accessible anywhere over the internet. Like Google Drive is a storage service, Gmail is an email service. So there are sort of services. So AWS is a cloud platform, especially for beginners. AWS is a platform which is a collection of services. I have logged into AWS. When you click on the services, you will find list of all the services what AWS provides. There are services related to robotics. There are services related to management and governance. There are services related to machine learning. There are services related to front-end web application and mobile development. The services related to database. There are a huge number of services. So pretty simple. AWS is a platform where you're experiencing now. It's collection of services offered over the internet. As simple as that. Okay, our plan is to learn Linux. So our plan is to create a Linux machine on AWS. You have to have an AWS account. Now I'm showing you how to create a new AWS account, especially for the beginners who are not having AWS account. Please focus. Just 5 minutes time, we will learn the process of creating a new AWS account. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. If you already have an account, please log in with your email address and login password. If you're not having an AWS account, here we have an option. If you're not having an AWS account, here we have an option of creating a new AWS account. So using this particular button, we'll be proceeding to create a new AWS account. To create a new AWS account, participants, if you want to create a new AWS account, you should have an email address. You should have an email address. We all have an email address. That's not a problem. You should have a mobile number. You should have an email address. We should have a mobile number. You should have a debit card or a credit card. Anyone is required. Credit card probably could be difficult, but all of us are having a debit card. So when you have these details with you, when you have an email address, when you have a mobile number, if you're using two mobile numbers, participants, if you are using two mobile numbers, use a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. Okay, if you're maintaining two SIM cards, please use a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. So when you have an email address, when you have a mobile number, when you have a debit card or a credit card with you, using these three details, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. So the URL is aws.amazon.com, and I have an option of creating a new account. So go ahead and creating a new account. It's a step-by-step process. Creating a new account, you need to enter your email address. That is first, you need to furnish your email address. That's the first step. I have created a document along with the clear screenshots. I have created a document along with the screenshots, the step-by-step approach of creating a new AWS account. I'll be sharing this document after the session. So using that document, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. Look at this. Step one, as I have mentioned, the step one is URL aws.amazon.com. A very important point, the AWS account which you're creating is free for 12 months. The AWS account which you're creating is free for 12 months. When you're creating now, you can use it for 12 months. Okay, so step one, you need to furnish your email address. You furnish your login password, confirm your login password, and you have to select your AWS account name. So step one, you need to furnish your email address. So furnishing of email address is a first step. Obviously, next step, it will ask you a mobile number. Please observe. Contact information. Contact information. As you can see, AWS provides two types of accounts. One is personal account. The other one is professional account. We are creating a new AWS account for our personal use. So select the account type as personal, enter your full name, provide your mobile number, provide the right country. I have seen many participants just entering the India mobile number where they don't change the country. So select the mobile number, select the right country, provide your address. So mobile number we have furnished in step 2. Next, step 3, obviously you need to enter your debit card or credit card details. Scroll down, I'm entering my details. Please observe here. Please provide your card number. Please provide your expiration date, provide your address. It will ask you, do you have PAN card? You don't need to add the PAN card, just click on no and verify and add. So step 3, you need to add your debit card details. It's pretty simple. Step 1, furnish your email address. Step 2, furnish your mobile number. Step 3, provide your debit card or credit card details. ₹2 will be deducted from your bank account to verify whether the debit card details what you have entered is correct or not. You get an OTP to verify whether the debit card details what you have entered is correct or not. So you have to validate your debit card. Next, you will be asked to re-enter the mobile number. Please re-enter the mobile number. You get one more OTP. You get one more OTP to verify your mobile number. 2 OTPs. The first OTP to verify whether the debit card details are correct or not. The second OTP to verify whether the mobile number what you have entered is correct or not. Once you verify your mobile number, AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, business plan. To learn DevOps, basic plan is enough, the free plan. So please select the free plan. That's enough. This free plan is for a period of 12 months. So select the basic plan. Select your role and select your interested technology. Click on submit. You get a thank you message saying that the AWS account has been successfully created. You also will get one email saying that a confirmation mail saying that your AWS account has been created. So this is the steps you need to follow. Pretty simple. Step 1, enter your email address and login password. Step 2, enter your mobile number. Step 3, verify your debit card. Step 4, verify your mobile number. That's it. Select the account type as free. That's all. You get a mail saying that the AWS account has been successfully created. After AWS account successfully gets created, within 8 hours, you get one more email saying that AWS account is activated. Creation is different. Activation is different. Once the AWS account is created, it will take maximum 8 hours of time for the account to be activated. You get one more email saying that your account has been activated and you can start using your AWS account. Clear? So this is how you can, once it is activated, you can log into your AWS. Clear? Participants, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you, especially for newcomers, how to create a new AWS account? I'm sure most of you are already having AWS account. That's okay. Especially for beginners who are not having AWS account, for them, I have shown you the process of creating a new AWS account. Thank you very much for your responses. After the session, if you're not having an AWS account, please proceed and create a new AWS account. Next, once the AWS account is ready, what is our next plan? What is our next plan? Our next plan is to create a Linux machine on AWS account. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. Let's proceed and learn the process of creating a Linux machine on AWS. Let's learn the process of creating a Linux machine on AWS. Perfect. Let me log in to AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the account. Log in with your email address and password. Perfect. Now logged in. Our plan is to create this is a AWS cloud platform. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. Our plan is to create a Linux machine. You can create any machine whichever you want. Machine is nothing but any operating system which you want. For example, we want to learn Linux. You cannot learn Linux in Windows operating system, right? You need a Linux environment. You can create a Linux machine. If you want Windows machine, let's say you want Windows Server operating system, you can go ahead and create it. If you want to create a Mac operating system, yes, you can go ahead and create it. Any machine you want to create in AWS, you can do that by using a service called as EC2. Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 is a service which helps you to create virtual machines on cloud. You can create a Linux machine, you can create a Windows machine, you can create a Solaris machine, Solaris operating system, you can create a Mac operating system, any operating system you want, you can go ahead and create it. No doubt, using a service called as EC2. So our plan is to create a Linux machine. Am I right? Our plan is to create a Linux machine. So I have logged into AWS. The service which I need to select is EC2. As I told you, AWS is collection of services. So go to services. Under compute heading, can you see EC2 is all about creating virtual servers on the cloud. So using this EC2 service, select the service as EC2. Go to instances. My dear participants, I already have 3 instances. Instances are nothing but called as machines. Our plan is to create a new machine. Machine is also called as an instance. As you can see in the dashboard, you have 3 instances. I'm using these instances for an evening batch. In your case, you will not find any instance. Number of instances you will find as 0. Okay, so I have 3 existing instances. Don't worry about the existing instances. Our plan is to create a new instance. Our plan is to create a new instance. So we have an option of creating launch instances. We have an option of creating launch instances. So using launch instances, we'll be creating a new machine. Okay, perfect. Launch instance. What is the name of the instance? What is the name of the instance? Instance name can be anything. I'm writing it as machine 1. Machine name can be anything. Instance name can be anything. I'm naming it as machine 1. What is the operating system? What is the operating system? Your plan is to create a Linux machine. So what Linux machine you are creating? Are you creating a Windows machine? Are you creating a Linux machine? What's your plan? You have to select the operating system as per our requirement. So scroll down. There are a lot of operating systems available. You can see you can go for Amazon Linux. You can create a Mac operating system. You can create a Ubuntu. You can create a Windows. You can create Red Hat Linux. There are a lot of flavors available in Linux, isn't it? You can browse for any operating system, whichever you want. I want to go with the Ubuntu operating system, selecting it as Ubuntu. I'm selecting it as Ubuntu. There are different versions. Ubuntu Server 24 version is there. Ubuntu 22 version is there, isn't it? So there are a lot of versions available. I'm selecting Ubuntu 24. Very important point. Please observe. I hope you already have observed. This particular Ubuntu instance is free tier eligible. There are few operating systems which are not eligible for free tier. Let's say, for example, Mac operating system is not eligible for free tier. Okay, if you select Windows operating system, it is not eligible for free tier. There are few operating systems which are eligible for free tier. Coming to our case, Ubuntu, only 24 is eligible for free tier, 22.04 is eligible for free tier. So rest of other Ubuntu with SQL Server is not eligible for free tier. Ubuntu server with GPU is not eligible for free tier. So remember, there are only few options which are eligible for free tier. I hope you remember we have created a free tier account. Please select the options which are eligible for free tier. If you select an option which is not eligible for free tier, you end up receiving a bill in the month ending. Okay, so please be careful. Please make sure that you are selecting options which are eligible for free tier. We are creating a Linux machine of Ubuntu flavor version 24, making sure that it is eligible for free tier. Yes, it is eligible for free tier. Next, instance type. What does that mean? We are creating a Linux machine, no doubt, but I have some questions on this. What is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? Sunil, you're creating a Linux machine. That's good. And we are creating a Linux machine on cloud. Very good. You may have a question. What is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? When you go to a computer peripheral shop, when you buy a laptop, you ask for the configuration. What is the configuration of this laptop? Is it an i5 or an i7? Is it 500 GB hard drive? Is it a 1 TB hard drive? Is it having 16 GB memory or 8 GB RAM? You ask for the configuration. In the same way, we are creating a Linux machine, no doubt. My question is, what is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? How many processors this Linux machine is having? What is the CPU? What is the memory? Memory is nothing but RAM. What is the storage? Storage is nothing but hard drive. So I want to know the hardware configuration. The hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on the hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on the instance type what you select. Instance type will determine the hardware configurations. Can you see? Instance type will determine the hardware configuration. There are a lot of instance types available. The default instance type is T2 micro. The default instance type is T2 micro. There are many other instances. If you click on this list, we have T2 micro instance. We have T2 small instance, T2 medium instance. You have large instance. So these are all instance type. But the only instance type which is eligible for free tier, have you observed? The only rest of all instance type is not eligible for free tier. The only instance type which is eligible for free tier is T2 micro. If you observe T2 micro, this T2 micro instance comes with one processor, 1 GB of RAM, 1 GB memory refers to RAM. Okay, so now you got the answer for the Linux machine. The Linux machine which we are creating is coming with one processor and 1 GB of RAM. Am I right? Comes with one processor and 1 GB of RAM. Storage, I'll be discussing that in the next step. So the Linux machine which you are creating is one processor and 1 GB of RAM. That's all. You may have a question, Sunil, 1 GB RAM is very, very low. I want a minimum 8 GB RAM. And let's say I want two processors. You can do that, no doubt. You can see you want a higher configuration. Scroll down. You can go with T2 small. It comes with 2 GB RAM. Let's say you want 4 GB RAM. You can go for two processors and 4 GB RAM. Let's say you want 8 GB RAM, two processors and 8 GB RAM. That is T2 large. A bigger instance. But this is not eligible for free tier. Okay, so T2 micro instances is more than enough for us to practice on DevOps concepts. So I'm selecting T2 micro that is eligible for free tier. This means the Linux machine which we are creating is 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Next. Key pair. When you're creating a Linux machine, AWS account will ask you to create a key pair. They'll ask you to create a key pair. Now, what is key pair? Key pair is a file with extension .ppk. Key pair is a file with extension .ppk, or key pair is a file extension with .pem. Key pair is a file which will help you to connect to the Linux machine. Key pair is a file which helps you to connect to the Linux machine, not just creating a Linux machine, from a personal laptop, we should be able to connect to the Linux machine. You can successfully connect to the Linux machine only when you have the key pair with you. Got it? Perfect. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and create a new key pair. We have an option of creating a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. I'm naming it as KP with today's date 10. This is the name of the key pair. Key pair name can be anything. Key pair comes in two formats. One is PEM file, the other one is PPK file. As of now, I'll be using PPK file. We'll also use PEM file later. I'm selecting PPK. That's what I have mentioned here. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk. Go ahead and create a new key pair. Yes, it is downloading the key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk. Where do you want to download? It's up to you. You can download anywhere. So in my E drive, DE drive today folder, DevOps, this is 11 o'clock batch. In this particular 11 o'clock folder, 11 a.m. folder, I'm downloading the key pair. Yes. Can you see the key pair has been successfully downloaded? Where it is downloaded, the key pair is downloaded in the E drive today DevOps 11 a.m. Let me take a note of it. The key pair is available in this particular location just for your reference. Okay, so whenever you're creating a Linux machine or any machine, it will ask you to download a key pair. Yes, we have downloaded it. Let's proceed. Network settings, take the default network settings, scroll down. Storage is nothing but hard disk. This particular Linux machine comes with 8 GB of hard disk and which is eligible for free tier. That's okay. So you have got the answer for the next component. The storage is 8 GB. So the Linux machine which we have just now created comes with one processor, 1 GB RAM and 8 GB of storage. Very good. Scroll down, take the default network settings, scroll down. That's all. Click on launch instances. You can review the summary. Please observe here. We are creating one instance. You can create any number of instances. You can go ahead and create 10 instances at one shot. This one instance is Ubuntu operating system version 24. It's a T2 micro instance with one volume that is nothing but 8 GB of storage. That's okay. Go ahead and launch the instance. Perfect. Successfully launched the instance. We are done with creating a new instance. Scroll down. Here we have an option called View All Instances. Refresh. Previously, there were only 3 machines. This is the new machine which we have just now created. You can see the status. It is still pending. It will just take 1 minute time for the machine to get created. Yes, you can see it is in download running state. We have successfully created a Linux machine. We have created an AWS account. On top of AWS account, we have learned the process of creating a new Linux machine. You can see the Linux machine is up and running. Clear? Clear about this? The second milestone what we have learned today. Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you the process of creating a new Linux machine? This is the next step. Why did we create a Linux machine? Participants, why did we create a Linux machine? The prerequisite for DevOps is Linux, which we all should have good in basics of Linux. For that, we need a Linux environment. So we have created a Linux machine. Super. First step, we have created an AWS account. Second step, using the service called as EC2. What is the service? Using the service called as EC2, we have created a Linux machine. Perfect. Thank you very much for your responses. Let us stop the chat. Now you can see the machine is also a running state. Next step. How to connect to the Linux machine? No doubt we have successfully created a Linux machine. You should also learn the process of connecting to the Linux machine. The process of connecting to the Linux machine. Okay, perfect. How do you connect to a Linux machine? By using an SSH command. Okay, look at this actually. This is the machine. Okay. If you want to connect to the Linux machine, select the machine which you want and you can click on connect. Select the machine which you want to get connected. I want to connect to this particular machine. Here we have an option of connect. Go to SSH client, pick up this value, user at DNS. DNS is something like IP address. Copy. This is the connection string. Okay, this is what I have copied. This is the connection string, which helps you to connect to this particular Linux machine. How did I pick up this value? Here, go to the Linux machine. Click on connect, SSH client. Don't complete the entire SSH command. Pick up only user at a DNS. That's it. So I have picked up the connection string. So this connection string is used to connect to Linux machine. Okay. But where do we run this command? Where do we run these details? You need a terminal. To connect to a Linux machine, we need a terminal. The terminal is called as PuTTY. Participants, PuTTY is a terminal which is used to connect to a Linux machine. Now, my question for you, where is this Linux machine running? My question for you, participants, where is this Linux machine running? You may have an answer, Sunil. It's very simple. We already have learned the Linux machine is running on AWS cloud. No doubt. Yes, you are right. AWS is maintaining data centers all over the world. AWS is having data centers all over the world. In which data center this Linux machine is created? You can get that information in the dashboard. This is the Linux machine which you can see. And you can see here at the right side top corner, the Linux machine is created in the Mumbai data center. So this Linux machine is running in Mumbai data center. Clear? So AWS is having data centers in Mumbai, Singapore, Canada, Europe, US, okay, almost all regions in the world. But I have selected Mumbai. So make sure, please observe that you are connected to Mumbai region. I have connected to Mumbai and this Linux machine is running on Mumbai. I am based out of Hyderabad. So I'm based out of Hyderabad. So plan is to connect a Linux machine which is running in Mumbai. For that, you need a terminal called PuTTY. So step one, what you need to do, you need to download PuTTY in your personal laptop. The first step, what you need to do is to download PuTTY. So first step, download PuTTY. Once the PuTTY is ready, then open the PuTTY and use this connection string to connect to the Linux machine. The first step is to download PuTTY. So open Google, search for PuTTY, download. Take the first site, putty.org. Putty.org, take the first site and download PuTTY. It will be redirected to chain.greenand.org.uk. Interesting. Okay. Scroll down. Download this exe file, putty.exe file, 64-bit. My laptop is 64-bit operating system, putty.exe file. I want to download in my downloads folder. I want to download it. Perfect. Now the terminal is ready. Participants, you can see the PuTTY terminal is ready. It's an exe file, so double click on it, the terminal gets open. This is the terminal. This is how the PuTTY terminal looks like. Participants, this is the PuTTY terminal looks like. So this PuTTY terminal helps you to connect to Linux machine running in cloud. So here under the host name, you have to provide the connection details, the connection string. This is the connection string, user at DNS. And do you remember When you create a Linux machine, it has asked us to download keypair, and we have downloaded the keypair. Keypair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. I have mentioned that this keypair helps for connectivity purpose, and this keypair is available in this particular location, E drive today DevOps 11 a.m. So go to that location and pick up the keypair. Keypair helps for connectivity purpose. So this is the keypair location. This is the keypair, kp10.ppk. Perfect. You have to upload that keypair under connection, under SSH, under authentication, go to credentials and private key. Private key is nothing but the ppk. Browse and upload the ppk file. E drive today folder, DevOps 11 a.m. ppk file is upload the ppk. Okay, and click on open. Lastly, are you sure you want to connect? Yes. Participants, we have successfully connected to Linux machine. Let's increase the font size. Participants, we have successfully connected to Linux machine. Yes, hooray. We are done. We have successfully connected. What is the proof that you're connected? You're getting an IP address. 172.31.43.245. Is it the same IP address? You can see here. 172.31.43.245. Are you getting the same IP address? Perfect. So this is a proof that you are successfully connected to a Linux machine, which is somewhere running in Mumbai data center. I'm not using RAM of my personal laptop. I'm not using that 8 GB hard disk of my personal laptop. I'm not using processor of a personal laptop. AWS data center is having hardware. I'm consuming that particular hardware in Mumbai and I'm connecting to that particular hardware using the terminal called as putty. Clear? I'll connect one more time, exit to disconnect it. How can we connect to a Linux machine? First step, open putty. It's available in the downloads folder. Under host name, pick up the connection string. Putty needs ppk file. Under connection, under SSH, under authentication, go to credentials, upload the ppk file. ppk file is nothing but keypair. Just click on open. Super. We have connected. Clear? Change settings. For better visibility, I'm increasing the font size. Perfect. So not only clear to clear the screen. So not only creating a Linux machine, now you know, not only creating a Linux machine, participants, now you know the process of connecting to the Linux machine using the terminal called as putty. So we have learned the process of creating a new AWS account. We have created Linux machine on AWS. We have learned the process of connecting to the Linux machine using the terminal called as putty. Any questions? Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. Our plan is to learn Linux. Our plan is to learn the Linux commands. Let's get started with Linux commands. So what's the plan for today? I want to show you how to create a new file. I want to show you how to create a new file in Linux. My plan is to create a file F1. I want to create a new file in Linux. How can we create a new file? We have a command called cat command. Participants. We have a command called cat command, which helps you to create a new file. So cat, use greater than symbol, mention the file which you want to create F1. The file gets created. Clear? So this is how you can create a new file. So I want to create a new file. The name of the file is F1. So let's do that. I use the cat command. Cat greater than, what is the name of the file which you want to create? F1, the file gets created. Write the contents into the file. For example, good morning. Welcome to the DevOps course. Thank you. So this is the 3 lines of content I want to write it in the file F1. And how to come up with the cat command? If you want to come out of the cat command, use Control D. Control D is used to come out of the cat command. So I'm using Control plus Control D to come out of the cat command. I'm back to my dollar prompt. I'm done with creating a file. What is the name of the file I have created? F1. I want to create one more file. Let's quickly do it. Can't greater than, let's say I want to create a file F2. I write some contents into the file. And how to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command. I'm done with creating a file. Clear? So how many files I have created? I have created two files, file1 and file2. ls to see list of all the files which you have created. How many files we have created? Two files. If you want to see the list of all the files, we have a command called ls, stands for list. Will show us list of all the files which you have created, file1 and file2. I'm done with creating a file. Okay, so using the cat command, using the greater than symbol, we have learned how to create a file. And we also have learned the process of to see the list of all the files which we have created. Yes, list command stands for ls, which helps you to see the files which you have created. How to clear the screen? We have a command called clear, which helps you to clear the screen. ls to see list of all the files. So this is how you can create a file. Okay, perfect. Now, I want to remove the file. I want to remove the file. Cat using greater than symbol, you can create a file. But my plan is not to create a file. I want to remove the file. I want to remove the file F2. I want to remove the file F2. So we have a command called rm. Participants, we have a command called rm, stands for remove. Mention the file you want to remove. I want to remove the second file F2. So this helps you to remove the file. Let's do that. Rm stands for remove. Mention the file you want to remove. F2, the file gets removed. Perfect. Now list. Previously, the list is showing us two files. Now the second file has been removed. The list is now showing is only one file. So we have a remove command which helps you to remove the file. So you know how to create a new file. You know how to see list of all the files. Whenever you do not require a file, you know the command to remove a file by using rm command. So this is how you have to work with files. I want to create a directory. Can we create a directory in Linux? Directory is nothing but folder. If you compare with Windows, in Windows we create folders, right? Okay. So for example, if you can see here, folder for the 6 p.m. batch, 6 a.m. folder for the 6 a.m. batch. So I am creating folders. In the same way, in Linux, folders are nothing but called as directories. Can I create a directory? Yes, no doubt, you can create a directory. How can we create a directory? We have a command called mkdir, stands for make a directory. We have a command called mkdir, which helps you to create a new directory. I want to create a directory with the name d1. What is the name of the directory which you want to create? I want to create a directory with the name d1. So I can do that by using mkdir directory. Let's do that. Mkdir, make directory, and mention the directory which you want to make d1. This helps you to create a new directory. Perfect. ls will show you files and directory also. You can see F1 is a file and D1 is the directory. And directories are shown in blue color for our understanding, just for our observation. You're done with creating a directory. Can I create one more directory? Yes, you can. What's there in it? mkdir. Yes, I want to create directory D2. So this helps you to create one more directory, mkdir D2. Directory got created. So we have two directories and one particular file. We have two directories and one particular file. Clear? Clear about this? So you know how to create files. You know how to create a directory also. Okay, perfect. How to remove the directory? How to remove a directory? Very, very important. How to remove the file? We have used rm command. Participants, we have used rm command to remove the file. In the same way, if you want to remove the directory, please use rm -r. That's a good practice. -r stands for recursive. This is a command which is a good practice to remove the directory. So I want to remove the directory D2. So this -r stands for recursive. That means directory will be deleted if there are any files which are there inside the directory. So when those files will also be deleted. So files along with the directory completely will be deleted. First the files will be deleted and the corresponding directory will also be deleted. This is the right option to remove the directory. Clear? So let me remove the directory D2. rm-r stands for recursive. R stands for recursive. I mentioned the directory which you want to delete, D2, so which helps you to remove the directory. Yes, I'm done with removing the directory. Now ls will now you are left over with one directory and one file. Perfect. Clear. To clear the screen. So we create a directory, how to remove a file, how to remove a directory, how to see list of all the files as well as directories. Perfect. Looks like the connection has been lost. Let's reconnect. Let's close it. How to reconnect? Open the terminal putty. Connection string, from where we can get the connection string. Go to the machine 1, connect, go to SSH client, pick up user at DNS. DNS is something like an IP address. Under connection, under SSH, under authentication, under credentials, upload your key pair with extension .ppk connected to the Linux machine. Perfect. Perfect. ls to see list of all the files and directories. Looks like connection issues. Yes. Looks like connection issues. Let me reconnect. Connect. So we have seen how to create files, directories, how to remove files and directories. One more important point. We have created a file F1, isn't it? I want to see the data present in the file F1. I remember this F1 is having some 3 lines of content, something like welcome to DevOps, good morning, and thank you message. How to read the data present in the file? Participants. How to read the data? We have a cat command. When you use greater than symbol, use greater than symbol if your plan is to create a new file. I don't want to create a new file. I want to see the data present in the existing file. So don't use greater than symbol. The command is the same. Cat, just mention F1. This will help you to read the data. Okay. I want to see the data present in the file F1. So cat, don't use greater than symbol. Just write F1. So this will help you to see the data present in the file. Let's say file is already created. You want to read the data present in the file. So use cat, don't use greater than symbol. Use greater than symbol if your plan is to create a new file. My plan is not to create a new file. I want to see the data present in the existing file. Just use cat F1, which helps you to see the data present in the file. Once you're done practicing, participants, once you're done practicing, what you need to do, disconnect the connection using the exit command. The connection has been disconnected. Go to your AWS account. Don't log out directly. Here we have an option of sign out. Don't sign out directly. The machine is in running state. Don't sign out when the machine is in running state. What you have to do, you have to stop the machine. Can you see the bottom few machines are already stopped? After using the machine, it's always good practice to stop it. Whenever you want, you can again start it back. Don't leave it running. Because it is a free account, don't misuse it. It has some limitations. It's always good practice to stop the machine. How can we stop the machine? Select the machine, whichever you want to stop. Go to instance state. We have an option called stop instance. The successfully stopping. This will take less than a minute for the machine to be stopped. This will take less than a minute for the machine to be stopped. Once that is stopped, then you can sign out. And once you want to practice again, you can again select the machine and you can start it. So please stop whenever you don't want. Whenever you want again, please now the machine is stopped. Whenever you want again, click on the select the machine and you have an option of starting, which helps you to start the machine. This is the right practice. Don't leave the machine running. This free tier account is having some limitations. Once you're done, then please sign out of the AWS account. Sign out of the AWS account. Okay, whenever you want to practice again, sign in. With your email address and the login password. Instances. Go to instances. The machines are all stopped. Whenever you want to practice, select the machine and you can have an option of start. Let's say you want to delete the machine permanently. That is called termination. Select the machine when you don't want this machine. Go to select the machine. You have an option called terminate. Terminate is nothing but removing the machine permanently. Then you go for terminate. I don't want to remove. I'll be using this machine tomorrow. So let's leave this stopped. And then finally sign out of the AWS account. My dear friends, am I clear? Did we meet our agenda for today's session? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you? So what did you learn today? You have learned how to create a new AWS account. It will be a little boring for the participants who already know AWS, but considering the new participants, so make sure that all the participants are on the same page. We have spent some time the process of creating a new AWS account. We have learned how to create a Linux machine on AWS. You have to know, you now know the concept of types of instances, different operating systems. How can we create the required machine as per the requirement? You also now know that there is a file called as keeper, which helps for connectivity purpose. You know how that we use a terminal called putty for connecting to the Linux machine. We have get started with basics of Linux. We have learned how to create files, directories, and remove files and directories. Much more learning in tomorrow. Tomorrow, extensively, completely full-fledged session, rapid fire round on concept of Linux. Okay, so they will be discussing about more in detail about how to create files. We already have learned creating the files. There are many more options, working with directories. How can we change the directories, print working directories, how the cat command, tail command, a lot of options, permissions, all this we have to know it. So very, very important concepts for the tomorrow session. Okay, so I hope you know today is day 2. Today is also a demo session. Even tomorrow is also a demo session. But you have decided, if you have decided to continue, please enroll the course by making the payment. I'll show you how to complete the payment formalities. I hope you know the portal. Our site is logiclabscheck.com. I'm sending that in the chat box. There is a WhatsApp group exclusively, WhatsApp community exclusively created for this particular batch. I hope you know that. If you're already there, well and good. Participants who are newly joined today, there's a WhatsApp community exclusively created for this particular batch. I'm sending that in the chat box right now. So please join this WhatsApp community so that you get the updates exclusively for this particular batch. Coming to the payment formalities, you need to open the site logiclabcheck.com, select upcoming batches. Can you see we have an option called upcoming batches? Under upcoming batches, can you see this is the batch number 332, which we have started yesterday, 9th. Today's day 2 at 11 a.m. in EST. Here we have an option called payment link. The course fees is 6,490, including all taxes. Click on buy course, click on checkout. Log in with your Google. If you have a Gmail account, log in with your Gmail account and you can make the payment using internet banking. You also have a QR code. You can make the payment using Google Pay, Phone Pay. International participants, you have to make the payment using the international credit card. so that you can complete the payment formalities. So this is our plan for today. Our plan for tomorrow is a completely full-fledged session on working with Linux, making ourselves more comfortable with the Linux operating system. Yes. Before closing, any questions? Yes. Please raise your hand. Yes, Shrikant.
Sir, my question is like actually earlier I had used the AWS Flitter account, so it is best practice to create a new account
When did
or to
you
enable.
create a new account? When did you create your account?
So maybe 1 year ago, sir.
Okay, better to create a new account.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
new email address you create it, and you can go ahead and create a new account. That could be
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Hillary, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. So I tried today to see if I could get the recording, but I was unable to get them.
Have you enrolled by making the payment?
Come again?
Have you registered for the course?
Yeah, I registered and I've made a payment.
Okay, you have completed the payment, right? Once you complete the payment, can you see we have an option of login?
So how much is supposed to be in the completion of payment? Because when you started, you said it was like $75 or 87. I think $87 per for 40 days. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, have you made the payment or no?
Yes,
You
I
already
did that.
have completed the payment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When did you do that?
It's more than a week.
Before 1 week.
Yeah, I'm making more than a week.
Okay. Have you logged into our portal? When you log into your portal, you will have my courses. Okay. Under my
Yeah.
courses, you will find this particular batch 332. Okay. Please log in and verify. Okay. We'll share you one video how to access the recordings. Okay. That's not a problem.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Participants, if you have missed yesterday's session is available in our YouTube channel. You can go through our YouTube channel. This is day 2. In case if you missed day 1, you can see AWS Devops 32. This is day 1. Okay. So you can watch the day 1 yesterday in case if you missed day 1. Okay. Not all the sessions, only the demo sessions will be uploaded into the YouTube channel. Okay. Yes. Chrysal. Rizal was. You are now allowed to unmute.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I wanted to know about Putty. Right now, I'm located in Belgium. So, is Putty will work in Belgium? As in, will they use it here as
Yes,
well, or
putty is
only in
used
India,
worldwide.
worldwide?
Putty is a terminal which is used to connect the Linux machine. It can be any location. You can be source can be any location. You can be in any location. Okay. It is used to connect. That's enough. Okay. The way we have
Oh,
connected, the same way you have to connect, irrespective of your location.
okay. So even work-wise, they do use Putty.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
For Linux machines connectivity, putty is used. There's one more terminal called git bash. Anyways, I'll be introducing you after a couple of sessions.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Deepanvita.
Hello.
Yes, Deepanvita.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Sunil sir.
Yeah.
Actually, just one help. Yesterday you told like some videos you uploaded for self scripting. That videos where we will get.
Okay. There is an offer for this particular batch. Whoever enrolls for this particular batch, the self-scripting videos will be given for free. Okay,
So,
Deepa?
Okay.
Not now, you have to wait for 1 week. Okay, once the enrollments will be completed. Okay, once the demo sessions have been completed, we'll get the list of all the payments. Okay, so like how you are able to access the DevOps videos in the same way from the portal, you'll have access to the shell scripting videos. Okay,
Okay.
clear? Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Asha,
Hello, sir.
good
So,
morning.
good morning. Uh, I have a query. It's a silly question, though. I mean, when we created an instance, did you choose a region?
I already have selected the region as Mumbai.
Okay.
So once I select it, it always, whenever login by default, you will be in the Mumbai region. Okay. So
Okay.
when you're doing it for the first time, you can select any region whichever you want. I recommend you to go with Mumbai only. Okay. Once you
Okay.
select, it always defaults goes to Mumbai region. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Any
you,
more
sir.
question? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow for complete in detail learning only on Linux. Have a good time. Thank you very much.